Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you're listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 177. We are in patch 7.3. Holy shit, 177 for reals? Time flies when you're having fun. Tonight we're going to be talking about all the news in World of Warcraft. We've got the week and what's being unlocked on Argus this week so that you guys can be ready. A couple small hot fixes to mention and all the NA regional madness, guys. It was pure madness. We're going to be talking about that and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. Snap back and get faster for the Pet Battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. With holy might as strong as his ancient knowledge, Remedies, the Argent Loremaster. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Welcome back. These guys kind of behaved a little bit, so I guess I can unmute them now.
You lied to me.
What did I lie about?
Oh, I was talking to Gemma Banks. He said the brawl was nice.
He said what was nice?
It was
The
fun.
brawl.
I didn't get a chance to go into that. I'm really sad this week.
I feel like it could depend on your spec.
I heard guildies that were not very happy with what was occurring during the PvP brawl, so...
The brawl's lame.
Did you...
They missed the mark again.
Well, we'll talk about that in your...
Anyways.
Bitter, salty AF week in WoW. We can discuss all your trials and tribulations. Welcome back. I did bring the Writers of Rohan with me. Before I do intros, I wanted to just make sure I addressed the Secret Sauce situation, because a lot of people commented last week and was like, that means she kicked him from the show, she fired him, hope he comes back, hope he's okay. Listen, guys, he's just fine. He's still the bestie. He's not dead. He just has real life, and there's nothing I can do about that. I can't make somebody be here when they have real life stuff. Like, I know you guys.
Okay.
I know you guys think I'm this tyrant who like looms over people and is like, you will do what I say, but it isn't really how it works. I can only do what people want to do. And if they're not interested in being here because their real life is just important to them right now, it doesn't mean we don't matter. It doesn't mean they don't love you guys. It just means he's busy and this is just not his priority. And
tell the truth. There was too many hats on the show.
I know, there were so many hats. So I'm letting him fly. I gave him his wings, letting him do his thing. If he comes back to us, we're here. It's not that big a deal. Guys, we've been doing this shit for 3 years with many people coming and going, and we're going to continue to do this shit for however many years until I start to get too many wrinkles and people start calling me old as fuck on the YouTube channel. Like, we're going to keep doing this.
The other day?
It's really going to be okay. So, it's going to be just fine.
He's family, obviously.
Yeah, people were like, I think just assumed, no, there was no, Bell didn't kick anybody off. I also ask for consistency, and if you can't be consistent, then that's where we kind of have, our conversation and just know, like, I can't be consistent, so I'm just not going to be there, which makes sense. I don't like the wishy-washy, and he's got life, guys. His whole life is different now. He's got things that are going on that's all good things, and for some people, this just is not, no one's a lifer like me, guys. Like,
I might have moved up second all time in episodes.
Well, and you are quickly proving that you are a lifer because you've weathered many a storm when I didn't think that you would. But This just isn't a full-time gig for a lot of people, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. But we still love him. He's still, a part. He's my real life friend, guys. Well, obviously, so are you guys since we've met in real life. But
he'll be at DitchCon and BlizzCon.
Yeah, he's not here because he's busy, and that's okay. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew, like, I didn't kill him. He's fine. There's no hate. He's not banned. There's no secret. Get it? There's no secret. See what I did there? With that being said, I did bring the monk who might be dying because he's on his deathbed right now and he's doing the show sick. And I applaud that, sir. Gemma Banks, thank you for doing the show when I know you feel like crap. And I know you feel like crap because I seen you when you first turned on your camera.
I knew she gave me the look when she hopped in the video program. And I think I'm just... Right, I didn't want to say what it was. I didn't know if it was a secret, but
His hair was a mess. It was just a hole.
I just got out the shower. I figured I'd have a shower to feel a little better, do some regrowth and some rejuvenations on myself, and have a good.
Effuse.
Yeah.
No? Is that not a monk thing? No.
That's a monk thing.
I tried to be clever.
No, it's a monk thing, but he's going on Druid right now, so. He's over here. You're trying to be good over there.
I feel like you on Druid is like CD on Druid. Probably not a good idea.
No, I love it.
Are you healing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
But you got to do that thing where you put your artifact power in DPS so you can kill stuff, and then you got to put it in the healing. So.
Well, I mean, you have honestly with druids and you being healer, you can pick a different affinity to give you an additional boost. So you can pick the damage affinity, which I think you get to choose between guardian. I don't know what the choices are for the healer because I don't remember.
Maybe.
But you can pick
balance,
a different affinity.
Feral and feral.
Right, so you can totally pick balance affinity and get some additional helpers so that you can do things as heals. Pretty similar to how you do with the monk when you sweep. So.
But it's okay. Gemma Banks has got it. He's gonna Swiftman to the top.
Right. No, I just I put all my stuff. I'm a boom chicken, which was actually my first alt. I actually, of course, boom chickens are kind of ugly, but sorry to all the boom chickens out there.
Why
hey,
glyph?
Moonkin's lives matter.
I glyph
like that.
so that I don't have to.
Because I like how they play. Actually, I don't mind. Just watch out for Starfall and pulling everything. But other than
and the problem with the glyph that I have to make me not boom chicken. What is it? The astral
glyph.
So the problem with that is I don't know. Sometimes I don't realize I'm not in Moonkin form when I'm.
I didn't look into it. I wondered if there was something like that. So I'm glad.
It's pretty. It's shadowy, but it's nice to have. If you don't, I don't particularly like looking at a giant chicken's ass. So that's not really my cup of tea.
But you usually you lose a flap glyph. You pretty much get like a slow fall or a levitate.
Oh,
I can live without that. I mean, I'm really okay.
I don't know. When you go flying off the cliff and I live, who can really live?
I know. Sometimes you have thrown me off the cliff, so it's not really fair. Well, Gemma, I'm really glad that you showed up sick. That shows me that you just might be a lifer.
Oh, life.
Style boys.
Too legit.
Oh, that's embarrassing. To that end, I did bring the priest who finally, his scrub ass, actually got his heroic kill Jaden kill before me, sadly, because I didn't raid this weekend. Remedies.
And the normal before you. So, I mean, I don't know how I'm the scrub ass.
Oh.
What? Yeah, I know. Riders Rohan killed Jaden heroic. It was a off night, which made it even more amazing. We're like, you know what? Let's just go one pull on kill Jaden. We're two healing it. And we died, and then someone hopped on their tank. They're like, "Oh, let's pull him in. We can 3 heal it," and it went flawless. Like everything was like a hot knife through butter. It was amazing.
You know why? Because there wasn't that many people in raid. That's why.
It was always about 15.
It's always easier in the smaller when you can control it with smaller amounts of people. It's always. I didn't get the normal kill this tier. I got all the way to kill Jaden on both difficulties and just didn't complete it. I got burned out.
Well, you guys got so close a few times, right? It wasn't like...
We did, and I got burned out prior to that because we spent a lot of time on Fallen Avatar because we had DPS issues. I got burned out a little bit before that, but my mom was here this last week, so anytime I got on the computer, she was super judgy about it, and she's old and Italian. You don't really fuck with that, guys. You don't. It
is awkward when outsiders see you playing the game. It's nice when you're in your own separate room.
I don't know, because, I mean, I was on the computer pretty much the whole time, and I'm a nice young man. So.
Yeah, that's because you're not her daughter. Like, she gives me those judgy eyes, so I just didn't. I waited till nighttime to get on the computer, so. Also,
you and her stole Rice Krispie treats together, so you guys are just friends that way.
They did. They did steal the fucking. That's so funny. I know. He was mad about it too. He's happy now because nobody's here to touch his Rice Krispie treats because nobody eats them but him. So
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a box. I'm just gonna eat them all. In front of him.
You're a terrible individual. Well, I'm glad that you and the guild got that down. I didn't feel bad even a little bit. because I just did not want to raid. I could
We'll
have.
get it down for everyone else.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Congrats
Well,
to all
and
the
I am
guildies.
going to join next week and take advantage of being a guild master and get the Kill Jaden guild next week. So, which we could probably expect the rest of the raid team to return because now that you guys have killed it, everybody's going to want in. So,
Yeah,
that's just that's the life, man.
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh.
Does the cookie crumble?
If you make it bad.
Interesting. That's kind of weird. So, guys.
No, because it has to be soft. Anyways, go on.
Warm cookies out of the oven. Think of that,
Interesting.
everyone.
Interesting. That's kind of creeped me out. So let's talk about this week in Argus, guys. By the time you guys watch this, the third and final chapter of the Argus story is going to be available. This is going to focus on the rest of the Macquarie zone. I have to tell you, most of you might already be through this content before or at the time you guys watch this, but I have to tell you, of everything I did, the Void quests were my favorite. Pretty cool series of quests. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about it. So before I go any further, as you guys do those quests, please comment on the show and tell me what you think about those Void quests. There's one in particular where you're in a Void cave and you have to be stealth you're dealing with the ethereals. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are because I super loved it and I hope you guys feel the same. So you will go through that. Now keep in mind, once you complete the third chapter, you will get the quest in on the Vindicar for the Netherlight Crucible. You'll go and do some things and you will unlock the shadow side, which essentially opens up the entire Netherlight Crucible. Now, I could tell you what you're going to do with this and give you hints, tips, and tricks. I don't have to. I already did a video. It'll be some here in the link. It'll be down here in the link. Go to Method's YouTube channel. It's in the link. It's everywhere. It's here. I did a really sweet video, just kind of a quick breakdown to let you guys know what to do if you're confused. So make sure you guys go check that out because I'm pretty proud of that video. Also, RIP my face. So funny story about that before we move on. I don't edit my videos for Method. Pleb Central does, and he does an amazing job. However, I do edit my cuts when I mess up and then I say the F word because I screwed up the whole sentence and have to redo it. When I cut that part of the video, I didn't have the constrained proportion turned on for the video resize, so it was turned off. So when I resized it, it made my face super wide. So when I went to watch the upload that Pleb Central did, I'm like, why is my face so large? And it turns out I'm retarded. So have fun with that
Well,
one.
they do say cameras add about 10
I know,
pounds,
you right. You so right.
Did you have to redo it?
No, I left it up there in all my fat face glory. Like, somebody commented on the video and was like, you're fat. And I'm like, it's tacos. I can't help you. But yeah, it's not about my face. My face is not what matters. The content and the things that I say really are what counts. So people are just going to have to learn to not care about my fat face.
That's funny. Rem and I have always said that about you.
That I have a fat face.
What?
No, that it's not about your face.
Oh,
it's about the
my.
content and stuff.
That hurt me a little bit.
Just joking. Obviously.
I don't, and I
say, whoa.
And it's weird because in my vanity, I don't want it to be about that. So like, I didn't even do my normal my little eye stuff I do and my little stuff. I don't want it to be, and I don't want that to be people's focus on the comments on the channel. I want their focus to be on the quality of the content I'm providing. And who gives a shit what I look like? Like, I could be a 10-year-old boy and nobody would know the difference. Like, it just isn't that big of a deal. So
Well, the quality's always there, so that's good.
not always, but it is what it is. So, third and final chapter of the Argus story. The rest of Macquarie is going to be opening. With the rest of Macquarie opening, there'll be 2 more World Quest spots. Kil'jaeden's Terrace and the western part of Macquarie will open up for World Quest, which is really great for the Argusian emissary. Which, in case you guys didn't know, last week they actually had to nerf the Argusian World Quest for the emissary from 4 to 3 because I actually didn't get to complete mine because Blizzard was like, fuck you, you only get 2 World Quests. And the next morning,
What you had to do was do the 2 and then do the supply quest. I bought a bunch of leather from Aja and I was able to complete all 3.
oh, I didn't have the supply quest, so that's kind of crappy on my part. But yeah, I didn't get that, which was fine.
It was an Army of the Light and Argusian.
Oh, okay.
Has it been confirmed if it's Argusian or Argusian?
I'm just saying Argusian because I feel like that sounds good.
I'm gonna go with Argusian because.
So the Netherlight Crucible will unlock. You'll be able to start putting in and doing that. Hopefully you guys have progressed pretty well on your artifact weapon for your level, because that's going to matter in relation to the traits that you can unlock. But spoiler alert, for each socketed relic you already have, you'll be able to add the first trait of each one, which will give you a 15 item level increase for your weapon, which is pretty snazzy. So, with that, the last part that we will be opening up is going to be the dungeon, the Seat of the Triumvirate, whatever. So that's going to be opening up as well. Important to note that a hotfix came out for the Argus Waystones. You're no longer going to need those as a means to access the greater invasions. Those were actually removed. There's a big, long explanation on why it was done. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care, and I don't think you guys do either, so I'm not even going to bother going into all that. But there was a series of tweets that went out between KVX and... might have been lore, question mark, not 100% sure, where they talked about the different reasons that they chose to do that. In the same token, the Veiled Gorgonites, JK Veiled Argonites, or Arugula, as Murky calls them, the Veiled Argonites, the cap was increased from 1,500 to 2,000, which is nice.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, it makes sense. If they're going to make that the currency, they really should.
It actually almost hit the cap.
I don't even know why they cap it, to be perfectly honest. It's a little frustrating, but whatevs. Like, I'm not here to judge Blizzard and what they do. Clearly, they don't listen to me anyway because I'm a scrub. So, like, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. So Icy Veins did a Oryx the Allseer. They did a thing, and I wanted to talk about that. He's a vendor on Argus, I guess, that he offers some rewards in exchange for intact demon eyes, which...
Oh yeah, I found that guy. I was like, what
yeah,
the hell does this guy do?
These stack up to 1,000, which is kind of cool. But those intact demon eyes, you go to him and you can get just some weird stuff here. I'm trying to see if there's a open a portal to the observer's locus in the Antoran Waste. So there's just, I don't really know what they are.
Well, it sound like
Oh,
they
you
go
get a
to
buff.
rares, maybe.
Yeah, you could buy something that's like a buff. Yeah, so it's important to note that you want to check him out. There's a map.
Does it mention how to get intact demon eyes? Because I've never even seen those before.
So
You have to have a quest active, maybe?
no, I don't think so.
'Cause I talked to the guy, and he was like, nah, you need these eyes. And I was like, yeah, maybe see.
Let me.
What were you like?
You know what? I didn't even think to look. I'm sure, Rem, while we're doing other stuff, you could find where the intact demon eyes come from.
Okay.
Let's see. Plucked from the skull of one of the Legion's most fearsome demons in the Antoran Waste. So I'm assuming rares? Question mark. Oryx the Allseer is his name. So if you want information on Oryx the Allseer, he is actually I'm trying to see if they have. He's in Antoran Waste in a cave under the bridge. So go to Icy Veins and find that patch 7.3 Oryx the Allseer. It happened to pop up in my newsfeed, and I wanted to make sure that I told you guys about it because I thought that was interesting. I don't know that I've ever had intact demon eyes, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm sure Rem is busy looking up where that actually drops from.
Yeah, just random mobs
right?
in there.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
we've
not
seen
even
them.
like
And
epics.
we've probably it's vendor trash. So I feel like we vendored it.
Well, no, it's marked as white. It's not like vendor gray.
Well, to me, whites are trash also. I don't know if anybody else feels that way.
If it isn't auto delete, I double check what it is.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean auto sell because I have the auto vendor too.
I don't auto vendor because I just am really paranoid about Blizzard making decisions for me on what I should delete. Flashback to deleting the Shadow Weave mask that I worked so hard to purchase from the auction house for the Lucid Nightmare and had to go freaking item restoration it. So, yeah, go and do that. I'll do some research this week and see if I actually find some of those intact demon eyes. So the prices are not too steep. Like for some things, it's like $25, $50, and then of course the Crossgazer. What is that? Oh, that's a companion pet. The Crossgazer for 1,000.
Is that like a cross
intact
dresser?
demon eyes. You can buy the companion pet, which is, well, I don't know if it's a companion or a battle pet.
Ooh.
There's also a toy, the All-Seer's Eye. Summon the Eye of the All-Seer,
All-Seer's
allowing the
Eye.
caster... Well, All-Seer, right? Am I saying it right?
No, just because all-seeing eye.
Allowing the caster to see through the target's eyes and offering insights into the target. I don't know what that means. It's kind of creeping me out. Whatevs. I'm not here to judge, guys. So, yeah, make sure you guys check that out because that is pretty legit.
You okay, Jim?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question. I'm looking at the pet. Well, because we showed it a few episodes.
We did.
Cooler looking pets. These intact demonized, we won't be able to get till the third week, or what you said is going to be live, or can you get them now?
You should be able to get it now. This was something that was it happened to come across my feed, and when I'm dealing with the news throughout the week, I just save whatever comes across my feed as the different various news websites that cover, you know, stuff that the community's talking about, and it just so I don't think yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, side note: the drop rate is about like 40%, depending on the ad, and it drops like less than 1%. So I mean,
I
it still doesn't make sense on why we haven't seen it. Because if it's over 25%, I've killed thousands.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time in one spot for that to be a thing. So,
well, I haven't seen any of those pets on the auction house.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Right. But since the one pet is 1,000 of those eyes, I would assume it's a little bit grindy, probably like the Curious Coins, right?
Maybe a little bit.
So I guess that maybe that is the new Curious Coin, maybe?
No.
No? I don't know.
No, just a separate thing.
Okay, so let's talk about the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, which starts on the 15th, which the 15th is going to be Friday. So obviously, I know that this is going to be streamed. So for the first weekend, it's going to be... What the fuck? Okay, so it is going to be streamed on Friday. Saturday. I guess China and Asia Pacific for weekend 1. And then weekend 2 is Europe and the Americas. So this first weekend is going to be China and Asia Pacific. I feel like they're trying to get it right on China and Asia Pacific before they do Europe and the Americas for the Invitational, because they're treading new water with this esports situation for PvE. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds kind of like that's what they're doing.
It's interesting. I'll check it out, actually.
Yeah. So, and then week 3 is going to be the global top 8, so the semifinals and the finals. Obviously, we're going to cover that the following week if you're not interested, or you can watch the... this is going to be interesting. So, my buddy Adrian is going to be doing the casting or the hosting, along with another friend of mine who's Daniel. It's Automatic Jack. So Healing Stat, which most of you guys wouldn't know him as Healing Stat. You would know him as Talby when he was Temple Storm. I think he was Temple Storm when he did PvE arenas. So, and then Sloot, good old Sloot. He's going to be doing some casting. This is going to be interesting. Now, the only thing I'm sad about...
Wait, a casting for what? The
Invitational.
Mythic?
Yeah. I don't know why they got him. I'm not hating, but what? Whatever. It's not even... Anyway, obviously there's underlying things there and why I don't like, but because I cannot speak on such things because of other things, I won't talk about those things.
Just stop, you're digging a hole.
But those of you that know me know why I don't really particularly fancy Sloot, so bada bing, bada boom. Obviously, Rich Campbell, because he's got his fingers in everything, because that's how he rolls. If it's Blizzard related and it's an esport, Rich is in it. The only thing that was annoying me this last weekend is Rich calls it Nagrand. So whenever he says Nagrand Arena, he says Nagrand Arena, and I just want to punch him in the teeth. But
I like him a little more now.
No, I do. I like watching him because he does get super hyped, and when he tries to use his big boy voice, he just sounds like a child going through puberty, which is hysterical to me. But yeah, they're funny. I expect it to be pretty great. For one, I'm excited to see. I think Blizzard's testing the water to see how far they can take this esports thing, but I encourage everybody to watch it, and the reason that I encourage you to watch it is this. So right now we can consider ourselves with World of Warcraft at a crossroads when it comes to what people take seriously. So currently Blizzard puts a lot of time and effort into Overwatch. Why? Because it's something that they can do a lot of esport coverage for, so that they can bring the masses to the game. So if you notice, World of Warcraft, they're trying really hard to keep this relevant, and the only way that this stays relevant is for you guys to support it, for you guys to watch the Twitch stream. If you're at work, throw it up on your phone. If you're at home and you're multitasking, put it on a mobile device, put it on something in the background. The only way that we can continue to keep this game that we love relevant when it comes to competitions like this is for people to support it and to show that it matters. So I implore, if there's anybody out there that cares about what we say, to please support and watch.
On a side note about that too, if they're going to be serious about esports, they kind of have to keep the game balanced instead of how it is
And
right now.
it works better for us, guys. The more that they're doing these esport things, the better off we're going to be. We're going to talk about this in the PvP stuff, because there's some fucked up shit that went on this weekend, and because of that fucked up shit, stuff was messed up, guys. This competition that happened this weekend, nothing happened the way that it should have. But I was thinking about this the other day. And there's been a couple people that I've talked to over the week that have said World of Warcraft's a dying game. And it makes me sad when people say that, because I'm just like, I don't know what game you're playing, because it's not dying to me. So then I think about these things, and it's very scary, because if the world does not receive these tournaments, and they don't see their value, and they don't watch their stream, and they don't watch those things, they're not going to put the effort into that anymore. And that's a very scary thing. So for this invitational, I would like for you guys to watch, if nothing else, at least watch the Saturday and Sunday one. I don't know how people's Fridays are, but usually, Fridays are super busy for people. But throw it on your mobile phone. Just give it some views, tweet about it, Facebook about it. Just help me with the hype train here, because we really, really have to keep this stuff going. It's important. I'm off my soapbox now, guys.
Choo choo.
That was my soapbox.
Chugga.
It's stressful when you're in a game and you love it so much, and you see that not everybody is seeing the relevance, and it's just really super scary. So, and with the upsets that happen PvP wise, I don't know what's going to happen. I do not know what's going to happen with these tournaments moving forward when it comes to PvP, because a lot of things just so
is it coming up in Bell's Bites, or is it?
Yeah, we're going to be
news?
talking about it pretty in depth in Bell's Bites.
I'm interested.
A lot of upsets happened. So
Yeah.
So the Mythic Invitational, it's up on World of Warcraft's website for you to get the dates, the times and when things. It even shows the affixes they're going to be using, as well as the teams. They have the full team breakdown. So
Oh, they have the teams?
Yeah, they have the teams up here, which whatever, we're awful is one of the team names. Don't Choke. Tommy's Button. Friends with Affixes is one of the team names. That's actually kind of funny. And then for Europe, we have Sneaky Snakes. Of course we have Sneaky Snakes. I'm curious as to why I see no...
I'm a snake.
Why are my boys not on here? That's interesting. Huh.
Rem and I were too busy to put a team together.
Right? Yeah, you're right. So I think this is gonna be pretty interesting. I'm excited. I don't understand any of the China team names except casual players. That's all I understand. The Asia Pacific Team Ook.
Doesn't
Team
say you
Ook.
want to give it a try.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Then they have one to the Asia Pacific team, honestly. So yeah, go check that stuff out. Go check those players out. That's gonna be kind of interesting. I think that's pretty cool. I think this is probably the one event that my boys aren't interested in. That's funny. I wonder why. I guess maybe because of progression. Anyway, so I think that pretty much locked in the news. I'm just going to double check my notes here and make sure I didn't have anything else.
I don't recognize any of these.
Some goodies for BlizzCon.
The only people I recognize are the Sneaky Snakes from Europe, and that's just because they have a PvP team, and I don't know if it's the same guys, but I don't see any of the normal PvE people that I thought I would see at this invitational, which is interesting to me. You could do Mythic, but you can't do, I don't know.
Maybe it's something different to train for. Like it's just.
I don't know, man.
No, the people that in the top guilds, like you don't.
Yeah, I don't
recognize any
see
of them in
those guys. I
there,
don't
so.
see those guys. But then again, I haven't really pulled apart the players, so maybe I just need to go. I'll do some research and see who's who. Also, an important thing on Argus: the fell lava no longer damages your pets. I don't know if anybody cared about that, but I felt like I wanted to
No.
make sure.
If it still hurts me, it doesn't matter.
You're so hateful.
That's a pretty major change.
Yeah, he's hateful. And then to close this out before we move on to the segments, guys, I want to let you know that I did the horrible lucid nightmare today. That video will be out sometime in the next couple of days. As you
How
guys
long did
know,
it take you?
we'll talk about that in my week. Wow. But as you guys know, when I do my stuff like the videos for these guides, I go through the content myself. So I basically took everybody's input across all the websites and how-tos, compiled it, had some help from Murky today to have the most efficient path, except I don't have an efficient path for the Endless Halls. But I figured it out halfway through, which was kind of cool. I figured out my pattern, which you guys will know what that means when you watch the video. But if you haven't gotten your lucid nightmare yet, have no fear. I went through it, and it's not that bad, except the very last part is pretty awful. So, yeah, that's what's going to be coming up next week. By the lucid nightmare doesn't fly, which made me a little salty. Not gonna lie.
I mean, that was known.
I'm aware that it was known, but still a little salty. Ugh, you're so judgy.
Ugh.
He is so judgy. Like,
Is he judgy towards the stuff we're getting for BlizzCon for our...
Yeah, the only reason why I didn't talk about that yet is because I'm going to wait until the digital goodies are announced. It doesn't make sense to talk about BlizzCon without the goodies, and we'll find out about the goodies on the 13th. So we'll talk about that next week when I have everything for the virtual ticket holders and for the people.
I've been practicing my
But
backpack.
No, Jim. No.
All the famous people got their BlizzCon goodie bags for them to do reveal videos. So
Mine must be in the mail still.
I didn't get one, so I'm not on that list of important people, which is fine. I don't need to be on anybody's list, guys. I don't care. I don't want to be on your fucking list. I'll go stand in line. I'll go stand in line with all the other scrubs.
You're saying that until you get on the list.
There's never going to be a time when Bella's on anybody's list. I can assure you there will never be a time.
Maybe their hit list.
Yeah, their hit list or their silence list. But yeah, so we'll talk about that next week because the 13th they're going to be doing a look into the whatever creators vault or whatever, but they're going to be revealing the digital goodies that people are going to be getting. So we'll talk about it then because it just makes more sense to group it all together. So yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it really is exciting stuff. So moving on, Jimma, I want you to tell me about pet breeds.
Yes, there's many different pet breeds. All pets are not created equally. Some pets are, but not all. Some pets will come with one possible set of stats, so it doesn't really matter. You don't have to think of it. But others come with a few different variations, right? Some will have more attack power, more speed, more health. I've mentioned this before, but I just wanted to talk about it a little more, and maybe for some of our newer viewers. And at the start, when we did pet battles, when they first came out in Mists of Pandaria, Blizzard didn't show us or tell us anything about or mention anything about possible variations of pets. I actually had no idea. I was battling in Pandaland for a few months, and I found myself in an intense PvP pet battle. My Kunlai Runt versus a Kunlai Run, right? So all of our team members were dead. We just had our two Kunlai Runts, and we were exchanging blows, right? Doing a little bit of damage. I would attack first, and then he would attack first. And then we did get to that moment where we just one hit will kill either our Kunlai Runt. And as my Kunlai Runt was dying from his hit because he went first, I finally had that moment where I said, why did he get to attack first? I really didn't understand why. I thought maybe it was a coin toss. Maybe it didn't matter. But over the next couple of days, I found out that they had different stats. They legit had 3 or 4 different variations of the Kunlai Run. So, that may not sound like much when you talk a little bit of stats here or there, but it can make or break a PvP pet battle, a power leveling strategy, or even a celestial tournament, right? So you want to make sure, if you are into pet battles, that you know how to take a look at these pet breeds. And I mentioned Blizzard didn't help us with that. So I use, and for the longest time, it was the only add-on I ever used, was the Battle Pet Breed ID. I've mentioned it previously, of course, because it's just a pet, an add-on that I can't live without, because, you know, I was looking at the Raiding with Leashes 5 achievement pets, right? I was, you know, debating, do I buy them because I farmed them and not many have dropped. And so I also mentioned when we brought up the Raiding with Leashes 5 achievement, we were looking at each pet, and I was looking at Wowhead and seeing the stats, but I didn't know some of them had different variations, right? So I guess quickly what I'll do is I'll go over Pet Battle Breed ID. So it's going to display the stats of your pet at max level, even if it's not max level. Doesn't matter what level it is. So not only is it going to tell you the stats of your current pet, it will tell you all the different variations of that pet. So you can find out right away, oh, there's only one version, so it doesn't matter. Or like while I was looking through the auction house today and I debated buying some of these pets, I was, you know, factoring in the breed. So I mentioned there's in the add-on, when you download it, it'll have one of four letters, two of four letters, right? There's power, P for power, H for health, S for speed, and a B for balance. And what that just means is if there's the same pet and one's a health power and one's a health balance, the power will actually be a little less. And those leftover stats will kind of go into the different categories, speed or health. So again, balance just means it's probably going to be a little bit lower of any of the other three letters. And sometimes that actually irons out into a good balance for a pet. But in a lot of situations, you may just want the power or the speed, right? One that attacks harder, hits harder, and one that is faster. So what I was looking at was, I'll just mention some of the pets that I was debating buying, and I ended up just going to farm them. I haven't bought any yet, but Surger, he was a real cool looking pet, and it comes in a health speed and a speed. In most cases, I would prefer the speed. And again, that's just 2 times the quickness. It has 357 speed, which actually puts it up there with the fastest rabbits, right? Rabbits are very fast, especially the speed. So that's 357 speed, but the health speed still is pretty fast at 321. That's going to attack first against most pets, unless you're going against a super fast pet. So the reason multiple times I would rather have the speed, but probably in this scenario where I'm not going to use this specific pet for PvP pet battles, and it just has a little bit more health, obviously, with it being a health speed version, and it had enough speed for my liking. The Blazehound also, not only does it look awesome, but out of the 3 breeds, I decided I wanted the power version. It has some cool abilities, that the bark ability that we've mentioned, if you're going to capture wild pets in the wild, use bark because it won't actually kill the pet. So I would just want the hardest hitting one. There's a power, which means it has the most. A power balance, which means it's still powerful. That power balance just means it's going to have a little bit less power than the power. And then there's a speed balance, which means it's going to be a little bit faster than the other ones, but also have a nice balance in the other categories. That may sound like just blah, blah, blah. Sorry, but I just wanted to break down the add-on. And yeah.
What the letter stood for was something that was very important to me, because if you remember, I didn't know what that meant. And I think in my head, I invented what I think the letter stood for. And I remember you correcting me with the speed, because that's not what I thought it was. I can't remember for the life of me what I thought the S stood for, but it was definitely not for speed.
That's where I wish we had like an editor in the back and be like, yo, John, roll to episode 159.
Where I was like, yeah, and you were like, no, it's speed. And I was like, oh.
But but it's not just you. Like even for me or for pet battlers, like it's very basic overall, but the amount of knowledge or stuff, it's overwhelming, and it does steer people away.
There's probably a lot of new pet battlers that have no idea what those mean. So that's good.
Absolutely. And another reason why I wanted to, I guess, break it down again, of course, longtime listeners have heard me mention the add-on before, but just breaking down all of that, I hope, helped. And then, of course, Bone Stream was the one pet that almost broke me, and I almost bought. It wasn't very expensive, but I saw there's 2 versions. And I wanted the fast version of it because it looked cooler than the Aqua Strider, which is an older pet, but because it is a speed version, all the abilities are really cool to attack fast, a lot of aquatic abilities. So I immediately did my round and I went to Blackwing Descent. It doesn't drop there, but then right after I went to Bastion of Twilight. I think I said that wrong. I don't know if that's the raid. The one in Twilight Highlands, that raid.
Yeah, Bastion of Twilight.
And thank you. And I actually was getting frustrated because in 2 full clears of both of those raids, I didn't get one pet. That's why Jimma buys them. What a waste of time. But the one I specifically got excited for, the Bone Stream dropped, and I got the breed that I wanted. So I thought that was just neat, a little bit of a,
Brianna, what you said is pretty valid, because before when Belle was like talking about something about a pet and she was happy about getting speed, I'm saying like, what the fuck are they even talking about?
Well, now you guys know how I feel about everything else you guys talk about, because I'm just like out of the loop.
Like, I'll be honest, I didn't know battle pets were like even that in depth. Like I was like, okay, you have this thing, it has X amount of power and stats, go for it. I don't know, there was like speed, power, speed.
Right. And if you're right, and imagine you're a casual player and you find that out after you did this long fast way because you don't know how to power level pets.
Now wait, so the SS and the PP and all the giggity, anyways, where does that show up on the battle pet? Like, does that show up on them, or is that the add-on that's telling you?
The add-on,
it's in the tooltip on the add-on when you hover over the pet. It tells you
exactly. Yeah, and it will show you like all possible.
Wait, so you'll never know the breed unless you have that add-on?
Correct.
Wow, that is really.
Or if you have it at max, it's just hard to, like, if you've got these level 1 pets and there's 6 variations, like the stats are very low and they're very similar. So without the add-on, unless you're a super pet battle man, which I haven't met you yet, you won't know. So the add-on is very important.
He's pet indigent, so I don't think he's the pet battle man.
But maybe he's listening. He's like, I know how to do that, so please tell us. But I don't think you can. But right.
If I didn't know how to do that, he didn't know how to do that, because me and you have had several in-depth pet battle conversations.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and imagine you level pets slow and you leveled up this pet and then you found out, oh, there's a better version of it. Like, that would be frustrating. So to be able to look at a level 1 pet, or before you buy one off the auction house.
To know what it's worth.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Boom. Here's a test. Here's a pet. I'll just mention the one. The Discarded Experiment, both of you. There's only 2 versions. There's a health balance and a health power. Which one do you think Jimma would want?
The health power?
Balanced.
Ooh.
I don't know.
It's close overall. I just want the one that hits harder, right? So the health power one in this scenario I would select. Thank you both for participating. It really isn't a big deal either way. But yeah, I just wanted to go over pet breeds and just to go over that add-on. It's my favorite add-on. It's one that I could.
I'm actually gonna download.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate that. And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention was it wasn't in any hot fixes, or I didn't see that it changed. But the Sun Darter hatchling I mentioned in previous episodes was a critter pet, and I thought that was interesting and unique that was a critter pet when the other ones that looked like it were a dragonkin pet. And then on Tuesday morning when we logged in, that might have not been the day for the change, but I looked at it because it's right there in my top list. It was a dragonkin pet, so I thought that was very interesting.
Mislabeled it,
right? So that's really all I got. A little bit of pet breeds and some Sun Darter hatchling breaking news. Right.
I found that to be
breaking news. Next show.
I found that to be very enlightening. I did find that to be
very, very frightening.
Well, and it's sad that, like, as I was writing it, because I wrote it out a little more clear, like when you're doing a video for something like this, or as I'm casually mentioning it, there's so many little points that weren't mentioned that would, like, you shouldn't be in episode 177 just learning those things with Jimma right next to your box.
What?
I don't know. Like, our boxes.
All I heard was Jimma next to Remedy's box. I don't really know what goes on when I'm not paying attention, but I'm a little freaked out, to be perfectly honest. But if you could video record it so we can make some money off that.
Right? I just can't contain myself. I just want to get to the lore.
Ooh, that sounds like pillow talk. And not the falling asleep kind.
I'm gonna take a drink of water.
Rem, I'm not saying you make me fall asleep because you are very entertaining, but just kidding. There's no but. What are we talking about this week? I tried to make heads or tails of this shit you put in your notes, and I didn't understand any of it. So,
recap, and then week 3 and
on
Titans,
the story
and
that we're
yeah.
into. Oh, see,
Yeah.
I did know. I was smart. SMRT.
SMRT.
You can't say you didn't know and then say you did know that you're smart after he clarified. Just for the record.
Damn it. Jim caught on to my bullshit. All right, Rem, the floor is yours until we interrupt you.
So, there's a quick recap on what's going on with Argus. So we're into the second week as of this second, but by the time you watch this, it'll be week 3. So we'll be introduced, like Belle mentioned, the Void. And I actually haven't been able to play through that on the PTR. I didn't get to do that part. But there's been a lot of lore that's been introduced, actually, that I personally didn't know about. And a lot of stuff, not only a lot of stuff, but some stuff feels like a retcon, kind of like it's being twisted around. But week 1, we find out about the Army of the Light. Velen somehow knows all about them, even though he escaped Argus on one of the ships and was living on Draenor and all that. But anyways, so week 1 we have Vindicard coming up on the Zinedar, and Zinedar gets shot, and we become introduced finally to Turalian, who is by all means one of the greatest heroes in the Warcraft universe for Azeroth itself. And we find out that he is the High Exarch of the Army of the Light within the Draenei society. And what people don't seem to realize is the High Exarch is like a step below the Prophet, or the step below like the top line. And for a human to be holding that title is actually astonishing. That's amazing. But we come into the week 2, and we're introduced to the breaking of Zerah, and we have Illidan going like, "Nah, you touch my no square," and he explodes him. And
I'm sorry,
so
he does what to him? Because
his
that is
no-no
not
square.
how I thought that conversation was going to end.
But no, so people have been theorizing, and I was thinking about it myself, is either way Zerah got what she wanted. Well, it got what it wanted. There is no race or gender with Naru, but so either way,
Hold on.
either
So I respect what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're selling, and I might buy it. However, the voice was feminine. I'm not trying to
it is
assume
feminine, but they
anyone's
don't.
gender.
They are gender neutral.
Then why don't they have a gender neutral voice? Because to me, you got a vagina. Like when
What
I
is
heard
a gender? What is a gender neutral voice?
Yeah, can you please demonstrate?
I don't have a woman's voice, so I can't help you out there. No, I'm just saying, like,
Is it like a cigarette grandma
I
kind of
just
voice?
need to know wiener or vagina.
Yeah.
Like, I need to have
Both.
labels make me happy, guys. There needs to be label identification for no other reason other than there's madness and chaos if you don't have labels, guys.
Naru's got both. Okay.
So why don't they have a gender neutral voice then to mimic that? What you're saying? Because I would never
well,
have
technically
known.
they do. It's more angelic instead of like a feminine. It's
So all angels are female.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
What?
Naru typically talk through chimes and sounds.
But sometimes when
Zerah is a prime Naru. That's why they're able to portray a voice.
Yeah, Belle, you didn't know that?
But yeah, no, there's
I
no
feel like she secretly has a vagina, and you just don't want people to know.
either way. Zerah got what they wanted. So either A, they gave a holy light to Illidan and she won, or he gets destroyed. See how anything right now, but but he gets destroyed,
She.
and we're able to utilize the power left over from her bits and pieces. Never mind. If you're English, bits sounds bad. Anyway, just derailing quickly.
So you're saying you've seen her pieces and parts. Got it. Message received.
So we're utilizing the leftover light from Zeroth for the Crucible, and actually, Belle, how do you get the void? Because like I said, I haven't done that part. So
I
is
don't
it
wanna,
part of?
I don't want to spoil it for you because it'll be something that you'll truly enjoy, but you will do it through the quest. I really don't want to spoil it. I really want you to
No
spoilers.
you're really gonna like it. If you don't tell me you like it, then I'm doing something wrong because I enjoyed those quests immensely.
Okay.
But I don't want to spoil it, so.
But what's in store for the lore in terms of for the void in week 3? We will be seeing a first glimpse into the void, as Belle mentioned. You're going to be doing quests through the void and all that good stuff, and we're actually going to see a true glimpse. Not only a true glimpse would drive you insane, but it will give you a peek into what the void is truly like, instead of seeing an old god that's like manipulating everyone and all that good stuff. It's actually deep, dark, and terrifying. But
it's very weird to look at from a mind perspective because there's parts where you'll walk over where like it's void touched, and it like it plays tricks on you, the ground, where it almost as if in real life you would feel like you were kind of falling, but they did a really good job visually with manipulating the way that it, the cross between the regular ground and then the void kind of just having patches there. They did a really good job. It's pretty cool. That's why I said you're really gonna love it, just because of those things. And then the cave where there's giant ethereals and you have to like go around. I didn't know you were supposed to stealth, so when you guys get to that part, make sure you stay stealth, guys, because it'll knock you out and you'll have to start over. But I think you guys will really enjoy that. The void stuff specifically is pretty cool.
okay, I'm excited. I was already excited, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know it was going to be all void. I thought it was just like, oh, you go to this, boom, you get this little void thing. Then okay, you're good.
Yeah, the ground you walk on, part of it will be void. So you'll have like where you step to the left, it'll be the regular ground, and then the other part will be like a rift of the void, and it's so trippy to look at. It's pretty cool.
Is it possible to fall? Like, is it?
No, I
like,
tried to
an
fall through.
edge?
I tried to fall through. Didn't
Weird.
take me
Okay.
anywhere.
So we actually learned something else during week 2. I completely spaced on. So we talked to Magni, and we talked to this. So I forget what it was called, but there's a stone that he was able to communicate with the world soul of Argus. So previously, what I was led to believe, and what was part of the lore, was that Sargeras came to the Draenei because they were an exceptional race. They were in tune with the arcane more than anyone else at that time, tens of thousands of years ago. And they had they're pretty much overall awesome in terms of being a race. And so another theory I have on that is, like us, being from Reikul's, the Night Elves being from the trolls that were with the around the Well of Eternity, you not consuming but becoming warped by the power of Elune, or Azeroth, as it's now being told. Not being told, but now it is, because they were led to believe that Elune was the one that changed them into the Night Elves. But the Draenei might be what they are because of the world soul that was on Argus. They were able to tap into the energy from the world soul that was in their planet. And so that's also what else brings up this new deal that we learned. So Sargeras has been tapping into that energy, and that's part of the reason why the Burning Legion is the Legion. And before it was the Twisting Nether is the reason why demons can come back, is because they never truly die unless they're in the Twisting Nether. But now there's this, well, I forget what it's called, like the Heart of Argus, where they're able to have an unlimited supply of energy. And so it's just twisting on itself. And I'm thinking it's more of a boost to their already Twisting Nether power. But there's just a lot of stuff that they're bringing into the game, and it's really interesting. And so with the roster for Antorus being on live, I figured I'd talk about the last boss a little tidbit because of Argus being having a world soul, and the fact that it's blown open. Make point towards the fact that Argus is not only hatched. I don't know what happens with the planet or what happens with the Titan and the world soul, but we're going to be facing Argus the Unmaker is what it's called, and it's about the size of an avatar of what the Titans use. So the Titans literally are bigger than the planet themselves, so they can't set foot on there technically unless they wanted to squash it. So what they do is they make an avatar and they throw their life source into it, and they have direct control over it with a considerable amount of their power. And Argus is going to be corrupted and manipulated by Sargeras after these 10,000 years, and they're going to be fighting his avatar. And I don't think we're going to be able to even kill it. We're going to have to like lock it up maybe or something, or kind of like what Eowyn did with the husk of Sargeras' avatar, is lock it away with seals and all that magic stuff. But also, if you guys noticed, on Nathraximus, I can't remember the name of the citadel, but it's the last part of the week 2.
You can't pronounce something?
I can't remember the exact spelling at this second. I didn't write it down.
Guys, mark this in your fucking calendar as a legendary event, guys. This is like a celestial alignment right here.
But we kill the dude, and Agramar, oh my god, my brain. Agramar is like, okay, buddy. And then Sargeras tells him to go take care of it, and he fucking meteors, valid. He like fucking meteors down on top of like right in front of us in a cinematic, and this is an avatar with almost his full power, his direct control, instead of that little husk that we faced in Two More Sargeras with Sargeras, his avatar. And so what it was like an echo of his power that was left over, and so it wasn't even anything really. It was like a snuff to like even a 1% of his power, and Argamar is sitting here in his full might, and we're supposed to go up against it in Antorus. And I don't know how did you guys go through that cinematic? I know that Bell did, but have you, Jim?
I believe so. I might need a refresher.
So epic. you're in the Lightforge war machine, and you go into the tower and you kill the dude, and as you're coming out, it goes into a cinematic where some of the Army of the Light gets shot up with the beam, and you're walking out, and Agramar comes down, and like you're the size of his toe, and he has his blade that he brings out on top of you, but you get beamed up.
Maybe I stopped just short of that.
I was gonna ask what you guys thought about that, because for me that was like.
So I heard you going through it when we were on Zoom one night when I wasn't doing it. I think I was working on something else, not in game. Excuse me, I just went through puberty right there. Not in game. But I heard you having a fan explosion moment, and I knew what you were talking about because you were saying, oh my gosh, blah blah blah. Then when I went through it the other day, I was like, this must be what Ren was talking about. Now, because I don't know much about him in general and what he like, I don't know the weight of seeing that cinematic, so maybe you can tell me.
Well, so Agramar was one of the Pantheon. He was in training with Sargeras. Him and Sargeras worked in tandem to kill pretty much every demon in the Dark Beyond, the Great Dark, everything. Like him and Sargeras created Mar-Doom, which held all the demons prisoner. At one point, there were no demons running amok.
Copy on the genocide.
Pretty much. That's what it was. That's what the light and the void are. It's just.
So should we fear him?
At this moment, yes. Because he is.
Can he be bribed or paid off?
No, he is completely controlled by Sargeras. Like, he is a pawn. He is like the king.
How come? How come all the evil we fight is controlled? They control like the big badasses. You know who we control? No one. We do not control shit as heroes. We control a weapon. But don't you think that's unfair? How like all the big and bad they control all the big and bad? Like who? We don't get none of that stuff.
Off track completely. But like with Star Wars, there's when the Jedi outweigh the Sith. They have more power and they can take on more.
So because there's more of us awesome heroes, they're like, well, but what if we want to wield a giant Titan?
There's more of them, so we have power from the light. See?
But I want to control, like, why can't we control Agamar to kill
We have a war machine that pew-pews.
Guys, comment on the show if you agree on why they get the better toys. The villains always get the better toys.
But yeah, long story short, so Sargeras actually killed Agamar when they were doing an infighting when Sargeras first broke open the demons in the Pantheon and were like, hey, fuck you. And they went to go kick his ass and they got their ass kicked. But yeah, Agamar died and he brought him back and pretty much made him his pawn.
He was like, sorry I killed you, let's be besties. And Agamar was
like,
no,
it was more of a, I killed you, I'm bringing you back, you're my bitch now.
Wonder if,
Not this guy.
I imagine Sargeras like sitting on some throne on Argus, like getting his feet washed by all his minions. Is that what do you think that happens? Who bathes Sargeras? Like, when do these guys go to the bathroom? Am I the only one that sits and thinks about those kinds of things? Like, they don't go potty?
The only official bathroom in all of Azeroth is in our garrison.
I know. Like, where do they go to the bathroom? There's food galore and there's drink galore, but I don't see nowhere for them to relieve themselves.
I'm sure there's a spot.
Yeah, in our garrison. Everyone goes there.
They just teleport to our garrison. Those are the weird things I think about. Like, I think about that kind of stuff.
Well, now hundreds of listeners are thinking the same thing now.
Yeah, like, I just wonder, like, where do they go to the bathroom? Do they get hungry? How often do they eat when they get hungry? Do they drink? Maybe one night Sargeras just gets shit-faced, and that's how come they shot the thing out of the sky, because he just got shit-faced and missed?
That's how the Well of Eternity was made, actually.
Yeah, I feel like there's a thing that goes on in the background with these guys that we just don't know their life. We don't know the parties that they have and all the hookers and blow that's probably involved. Right? No?
Blackjack.
So I didn't add any knowledge of any kind to Rem's segment whatsoever. In fact, I trashed it completely with my shenanigans.
But yeah, so we'll talk about Antorus the next week, maybe 2 weeks, as I compile everything, because there's not any information on Antorus. It's been sitting there cooking up magic and power for the past 10,000 years. But
maybe that's where the bathroom is.
Maybe. It is the Burning Throne.
It is the Burning Throne. That's exciting. I'm excited. That was a great segment, Rem.
Agreed.
You didn't say like maybe twice. I'm really proud of you.
He's dealing with the distractions quite well. Your voice was running through my head when I was running around Velen during the thing. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I was like, oh, Rem.
That's a little creepy, but we're not here to judge you. Gemma, this is a safe place. You're in the circle of trust, essentially. So
I like
circle of trust, fucker.
Right.
Circle of trust. So next week, Void stuff, Antorus, whatever, the Burning Throne. Why has everything got to be burning? I'm so fucking sick of burning. The Burning Legion, the Burning Throne.
Don't worry, we're going to go away from the green fire and the burning to dark purple, your favorite color.
I know, I'm excited about that. I'm excited.
We are due for a color change.
We're in need of visual changes in general. Like, don't get me wrong, Legion visually fucking couldn't have done better, especially with fan favorite, of course, Suramar. But I'm so excited to get away from the Fel, and I know that's weird, a Warlock saying that, but just the visuals of the Burning Legion, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of sick of staring at the same shit. So I'm hoping wherever it takes us, we aren't fighting that anymore. Like, how much longer can we kill the same set of people? I get we're fighting their their essence, their avatars, their, not their real selves because they're little bitches. But like, I just am ready. I'm ready for some new.
New.
That sounded really weird, but I know what I meant. So moving on. So yeah. Guys, let's talk about PvP. What a fucking weekend. If you guys did not watch it this weekend, I feel sorry for you. I really, really do feel sorry for you because you missed. Guys. So, let me preface this by saying all of the things I'm going to say are my opinions. It is how I feel. You can love them. You can hate them. You can fuck off. I don't care. It is my opinions and it is how I feel. You don't have to share my opinion. You don't have to like my opinion. You don't even have to listen to my opinion. However, I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised by the opinions that I have because it's not all about Method, although with Method having 3 NA teams, I think you guys can expect a good portion of the segment's going to be about Method because I don't really have a choice in that matter. Not that I'm complaining. So let's talk about what went down. So this weekend was the regionals. Now, for those of you who get confused and don't understand the way that the PvP structure works, I'm going to break it down for you so that you have all the knowledge when we're going to the BlizzCon Grand Finals. So throughout the year, we have what's called the Cup Qualifiers. There's a total of 5 cups for EU, 5 cups for NA, and then there's China, Asia, Pacific, and Latin do their own little stuff as well now. This just started this year where they get their own teams can go. So this year, the way that it's happening, there's going to be 12 teams at BlizzCon. There's going to be 4 NA teams, 4 EU teams, 2 China, 1 Asia Pacific, and 1 Latin. I think I have that correct. I'll correct myself later in the comments if I'm not correct, but I'm pretty sure that I'm correct about that.
Sounds good.
We have the EU. We broke down EU already. Obviously, Method Triforce took home first place there and secured their BlizzCon spot EU side. Now, the important thing to note is once we get to BlizzCon, there's no separation of who you are. You're thrown into the pit and we're all battling each other. There's no, all the teams, there's no segregation at that point for what part of the world you're from. Everybody's thrown in to do that battle. So this, after you have your 5 cups, right? So they changed the structure this year, which we've talked about that. Instead of elimination matches, what they've done is made it where you point. So you get points to qualify for regionals. So everybody that had the invite for regionals, they accumulated enough points to be able to go and do their thing. The frustrating thing about the way that they did this, so the brackets originally seeds matter. So how you placed in the tournament with points, that's how you were put in these brackets for the way that you were in the seed. So first day, just amazing across the board. Like everybody was awesome. Everything was great. All 3 Method teams were in. Sneaky Snakes. We had Panda Global, Frogs in a Pond, Onion Ball, Splice, Set to Destroy X, which they were not called Set to Destroy X. I just don't remember what their name was prior to that. That was a name. They did a name change. And Panda Gaming, which is different than Panda Global, but they're the same org, ? Confusing. I'm not really 100% sure about that. So ultimately, the reason this was so heartbreaking is because these were entirely elimination matches for day 3. I think it was just day 3 was elimination matches. Might have been the second half of day 2. I'm not 100% sure. So obviously, we have 3 Method teams, guys. There's only 4 spots. Did we really think all 3 Method teams were going to go? No, we didn't. Did I a little bit? Yes, I did.
You didn't? I was going to say.
I did. It was more of a hope. But let me tell you. So the top 4 teams that are going, I just want to double check. It is. Okay. So top 4 teams is Panda Global, Splice, Sneaky Snakes, and Synergy. So Method Synergy is the team that is going. Let me tell you about the upsets that happen. So to me, I'm a Method Reborn fan first and foremost. The reason being, several people have asked me over the weekend why. Because Method Reborn was originally Method NA for the North American version of Method for PvP. That is where my first love came to pass, which is when Venruki was on the team, right?
So they're the originals?
They were the originals in that sense. So obviously, I don't have to like particular players to love the way that they play. Sea-Doo, I don't really know him outside of the online personality that he is. Sometimes I don't really fancy the stuff that he says, but he's a very skilled player. Snuts is a very skilled player. Beans is a very skilled player. Like, these guys are very skilled players. So they did not make it, right? They get eliminated. They fought their ass off, though. Like, we fought so hard. So here's who our blocker was. And I'm going to be really honest. It was Tempo Storm. I'm not even going to lie and try to say that it wasn't, because I know that's Rem's team. Tempo Storm, guys, was the team to fucking beat. Let me tell you, the predictions for Tempo Storm winning BlizzCon have been going on all year. Obviously, Tempo Storm, Peekaboo, Jamili, I forget who else is on there. So
They're the faves.
Everybody just expected. Well, what happens when your expectations don't get met and your ass gets thrown out of the game? Your name here, which is Vanguard's team, completely eliminated Tempo Storm from BlizzCon. Like, I gotta tell you guys. Now listen, if you're a Tempo Storm fan, that's okay. But I have to tell you, the whole time I kept thinking, I need these guys to go because my Reborn can win. If we can knock these guys out early on and not even have to worry about BlizzCon, like Reborn's got this in the bag. So we do. We don't, but Your Name Here does, which I'm going to talk about Your Name Here in a second, because I think we're going to be looking to see them pretty large next year, because Vanguard's is on a fucking mission, and he really should, because he is an amazing paladin. So we knock out, Tempo Storm gets knocked out. I'm all excited. We're hyped. Awaken gets knocked out. I think day 2 they get knocked out. They put up a really good fight. God bless Mexen, man. They just shit on him. It was really, it hurt my feelings, to be honest with you. But it wasn't too terrible, to be perfectly honest. It could have been worse, I guess. But Sneaky Snakes just fucked them up 3 ways from Sunday. They did 3-0. Now, I want to talk about Sneaky Snakes, too, because this is another team that you guys are going to want to watch out for, because they really know what they're doing. And they're afraid, which is why they are scary. When you have a team that is terrified, they're scary because they have nothing to lose. These guys are terrified. They're going to come at you with all kind of crazy shit sideways, and they're going to kill you. Like, literally, that's what's going to happen. So the sad moment, day 3, brother against brother, right? It's the thing you never want to see.
The Method showdown.
Method Reborn goes up. I think we eliminated Frogs in the Pond. I think Synergy eliminated Frogs in the Pond. There's a lot of games that happened, so I have to remember who eliminated too. Yeah, Synergy eliminated Frogs in the Pond 3-1. So here's what happened. So Sneaky Snakes and Your Name Here, they go up against each other. Sneaky Snakes ended up taking it, and then that puts Sneaky Snakes against Panda Global for the semifinals. So Method Reborn, Method Synergy just fucking kicked their ass. It was awful. Like,
you mean the Method versus Method one,
yes,
right?
It was awful because this was an elimination match. So we knew going into this, one of them were going home. Now, here's what I respect about Synergy. So a lot of people have been talking shit about this Double Demon Hunter, saying they've been cheesing their way through the competition. I watched Sea-Doo stream last night. The only reason I watched the stream is because it was his thoughts on what happened during the weekend, and I was curious as to where his head was at, because I felt really bad for him and Snuts. Well, he had said, if you could double Demon Hunter and win to make money, wouldn't you? And I thought, he's absolutely right. If I could double Demon Hunter, it doesn't matter if people consider it cheesing. Like,
Trill, even if they were tanks?
They weren't tanks, though. Trill
No,
and
I know.
Mez, these two were literally like the Wonder Twin fucking powers of death. Like, I would not want to face them in an arena. They were impossible to beat. Like, they tried. Mez is like the fucking live lord god. I don't even know, like, how he managed to stay alive is beyond me, because Mez was the main focus target, and if it wasn't Mez, it was Trill. So here's what I respect about Synergy. You go into this game and everybody expected they're going to do their double Demon Hunters. Synergy didn't. They could have very easily, and they would have Demon Hunters, and they didn't. Instead, they did DK Windwalker, which Walking Dead Cleave. So unfortunately, that's pretty deadly for Method Reborn's RMD. And yeah, so I did respect the fact that Synergy did not do double Demon Hunters on their brothers. I appreciated that, and I thought that was really solid on Colo and Mez and Trill to not do that. I thought that was pretty cool. Maldiva sat out for, I think he was in one game, but Maldiva was their fourth player the majority of the weekend, which people talk crap about that too. Guys, I don't know if you're aware, Maldiva's the reason they're where they're at because he played in like 95% of the cup tournament. So while people are talking shit that Maldiva got a trophy that he shouldn't have gotten, you should really check your facts and you should go watch past games because Maldiva's 100% the reason that they're there. So then for the next set, you have the semifinals, which Panda Global and Sneaky Snakes. Panda Global ended up taking it 3-1 over Sneaky Snakes, and then Synergy annihilated Splice in the next setup for the semifinals. Splice is a really good team. I got some backstory on the Splice Tempo Storm drama. There's so much drama in these PvP things. But Jamili talks a lot of crap about Chanimal because they don't get along. You know, Chanimal used to be Tempo Storm and isn't anymore. So Jamili was like talking shit. MLG played it as part of the promo where Jamili was like talking shit about Chanimal about how they didn't like each other and vice versa. So there's a little bit of underlying drama there, and there was some shit talking happening, and that's unfortunately.
Was the original shit talker the guy? Did his team lose or win?
Jamili lost, but
He lost.
we were, those of us that were in chat that were covering Method's Twitter for this event this weekend, we were like trying to furiously refresh the Tempo page, Facebook or Twitter to see what Tempo Storm was going to say about that loss when they got kicked out of the tournament. Jamili, of course, blamed the patch because he doesn't know how to take any responsibility for his own fucking actions. Instead, he blames poor development and class balancing. He blames everything else. But when he wins, the patch is balanced and it's perfectly fine. However, throughout this weekend's tournament, it is painfully obvious that these cleaves are ridiculous. Like, Melee is just ripping apart. It's just so bad right now. Blizzard, I implore you, if you really, really are interested in fixing your situation, I'm going to need you to just knock it the fuck off with the Melee. Like, I don't play on a pro level, but when I see every single pro player talking about the Melee being a problem with balancing, and they had to play in 7.2, which is another thing a lot of people didn't understand. So these guys weren't even playing in current meta. They're playing in 7.2.5 for this tournament, which they had to have a special server to be able to play on so that they could practice. It's really difficult to not be playing in the current meta for these tournaments. Like, that's just shit all the way around. Because some stuff was fixed in 7.3 for some PvP templates, so it's just really crappy that they didn't get to play.
It's one of the most interesting thing about these tournaments at BlizzCon is that what you just said is.
And for the third day, so for the I think we're at the semifinal point now. Instead of doing a seeding where you went based off where you seeded on who your opponent was, they did a win versus loss ratio. It was called the Swiss.
Why?
I have no idea why they did it. Actually, I think I know why, but this is the reason Reborn and Synergy had to go against each other because of the way that the win-loss ratio happened. It's called Swiss format is what it's called. I don't know anything about that, so those of you that know can know it because I don't give a shit to know it. But
sounds like a European thing.
All the PvPers were pissed off that this was the format. They didn't even understand. Like, originally, some of these guys didn't even know they were going to be versing each other because they just assumed it was based off seed in the bracket, and that's not the way that it just completely flipped. Super confusing for everybody involved. So it went by win-loss ratio versus
seeding,
which they're making all the hard work to seed. Why are you making it irrelevant on the third day of the tournament?
It sounds like someone tried to do something fancy.
Well, let me tell you what I think they did. I think that they were trying to do an upset. I think that they wanted to see some of these large teams that we see go every year eliminated. I really do believe that that's what they wanted. I think that they wanted something different for BlizzCon, and I think that that's how they made it happen. Now, I'm not going to accuse Blizzard of doing some bullshit. However, I'm just saying it's a little weird and it's a little bit convenient because all the upsets that happened, like teams that we expected to win. Did you ever imagine a world where Tempo Storm wasn't going to BlizzCon? Neither did Jamili because he was crying on Twitter about it. But did you ever imagine a world where Tempo Storm was not going to BlizzCon? I never thought in a million years I would see a BlizzCon that Tempo Storm was not at.
I knew that I figured they were going to at least go, but I didn't think they were going to win because
isn't that crazy?
Synergy was doing really, really well.
Yeah, isn't that fucking insane? That's so.
Synergy
but
did
like
qualify.
even Vanguards was like, I don't even know what I'm doing Monday. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I really believe, I don't really think that change up in the format was, oopsie or, testing waters. I think they did that shit on purpose because I think they're trying
Like maybe that wasn't the plan, but like they didn't want them to go unprepared.
I guess. I just feel like there was some underhanded shit because they were trying to do some daytime drama television stuff. Because that's essentially what happened. Every game was crazy. Crazy.
So
Did they announce that like at the very, very beginning?
No, they didn't say anything about it. That day when I was watching, we were trying to see who was playing next, and Sea-Doo was tweeting, "Oh, we're going up against." We thought Sea-Doo, and then we're going to go up against. I want to say Panda or maybe even. I'm not really even sure. And then he was like, "Wait, just kidding. We're going against Synergy," which shouldn't have. If they went by seeding, it wouldn't have been Reborn and Synergy.
Right. Do you think it added the excitement that the tournament needed, or could?
It's
I'm not
possible.
saying.
It did. It was a huge. There was upsets the entire tournament. Like it was like things that you expected. There were sweeps happening left and right that you didn't expect. So. Anyway, moving on.
Well, I was excited to hear about the tournament. Obviously,
Yeah, and so then Synergy goes on to beat Splice. Then for the very last day, we had Panda Global and Method Synergy. And Synergy was 4-0. They slaughtered Panda Global. Like, there was no back and forth. Like, they slaughtered Panda Global. So, here's the thing. So, with Tempo Storm out, Panda Global's a good team. They're a solid team. Splice is a good team. They're a solid team. I think I have a prediction, and it's the same prediction that 99% of the world of PvP has already. I'm expecting Triforce to take this, and it's not because their method. So I want to make sure that I'm very clear.
That's the EU team?
Yes, but I want to make sure I'm clear. I think Synergy is a good shot. They're great. Like I said, these guys are top-notch players. Splice is a great team. Panda Global's a great team. Like, I'm not saying... and Sneaky Snakes, while they're green, they're skilled, so... I'm not saying that, they're not going to have a fighting chance, but let's take a look at the facts here. So we have Triforce. We have Fabs. We have Botar. We have Swapsy. These guys have been bred for BlizzCon championships. One has 3 under his belt. One has 2. These guys are a force to fucking be reckoned with. If you didn't watch them for the EU tournament, slaughtered across the board. No mercy. Occasionally they lost, but they placed first in 4 of the 5 cups. You really think these guys aren't winning BlizzCon? I will tell you this right now on Bell's prediction. I will be surprised. It will be the upset of the year if Triforce does not win BlizzCon. I will be very shocked. And it's not because their method. It actually has nothing to do with the fact that they have method on their jersey. It's because of these players. Botar... Let me tell you something. He ain't nothing nice. Like, Botar knows what he's doing. So, I do think... I'm not saying Synergy won't do it. I'm not saying Panda Global won't do it. There could be huge, stunning upsets. I don't know what Panda Global has in their... I'm going to call it a spank bank, but I don't really know what else to call it. So I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. But I don't know what they have in their little toolkit of secret comps. Because I don't really think that they show you during the tournaments the things that they have, because they just save that, right? Because... if you kind of show all the things that you have, people are going to figure out a way around it. Like, the thing that scares me about the double demon hunter is between now and BlizzCon, somebody's going to figure out a way to kill you. Like, you're doing really good with these double demon hunters because people were not expecting it and did not have any practice with these counter comps. Once somebody develops a counter comp to your double demon hunters, they've got your number. Like, you took the sneak attack on one tournament, but don't expect to be getting that shit again because it's just not the case. Triforce knows how to beat double demon hunters because Triforce did it. Triforce did it in EU when Double Demon Hunters, like, they won because they figured out how to counter Double Demon Hunters. So, I think it's probably going to be, in truth, I think it's going to be between Panda Global and Triforce. I think those are going to be the 2 teams that are going to go head-to-head in the very final series.
But you think it's safe for me to jump on the Triforce bandwagon?
I do. I will be very, and I just want people to know it's not because, one, it's method, and it's not because they're the popular vote, guys. This is me being completely honest about me knowing these players' skill set, because
Well, they've won previous championships.
and I was a fan of all three of those players before. I was a fan when they were spliced. So
Okay, I was going to ask that. They were
Yeah.
spliced before.
like, this is happening. These guys are making it happen. So I think we can probably expect the final game to be Panda Global and Method Triforce. I don't think the final game is going to be Synergy versus Triforce, in my opinion.
I'll keep an eye out for that.
I would like to see that naturally as a, Method is part of that organization. So naturally as a fan and a person, I want to see that, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. So
I know Triforce plays. I mean, people are skilled in all kinds of characters. What does Triforce mainly play again, or do they have any common? I know I just put you on the spot, but
yeah, it's different
depend
now.
on-
Where like Swapsy was always on a druid. Things aren't the same that they were last year either. You don't see the same type of comps up at the top that you normally see. Like that's
another reason why I wanted to play the Resto Druid was because I don't see any. And not that I'm going for a high tier rating, but
Wait.
like
Sorry, I was
You're good.
thinking out loud. So is BlizzCon gonna be 7-3 or 7?
I was going to ask that too.
well, we don't know. They've asked, and I don't.
'Cause that's
I don't know
huge.
that they've gotten
That's-
soft, but it does matter. Like it is. It does matter. It is a huge. I can't imagine them doing 7.2.5 way out into November.
That late, yeah.
I can't. Can you imagine that is even being a possibility? I can't.
Well, I remember hearing it was what you originally qualified for, which I guess technically would have been that.
Yeah.
Because there's no more tournaments in between now till BlizzCon, right? That's it. Am I wrong?
Shit, no wonder why Triforce won.
Why, Rem?
'Cause
Huh?
Fabs is Fabs, and he has 3 freaking championships, and then Botar's won 2.
I mean that as well, but I mean the comp that they're running is savage as fuck.
What is it? Please.
Arms Warrior and
Oh.
Unholy Death Knight, and then a Resto Druid. I don't know what the name for that is, but that's so
Yeah.
much pressure.
They're good. The guys are good. They're just.
If Melee wasn't so dominant, Rem would enjoy Arena more because all you hear is, fuck! Because they're all always on.
Well, it's a train. Whenever I go into arena, it's like choo choo.
I heard
and they get
you
trained to the
like
ground.
choo-choo trains. Is that not a thing?
That is a thing.
I think I
Is this a
can.
thing?
I think I can.
So this Trill kid that's on Synergy, he's in Limit Guild.
Is that
Okay.
good? Bad?
I don't know, it's stupid.
Limit is
Limit's
actually
always they're
top
banned
tier.
for aren't they banned for stuff? Didn't Limit get banned 3 times during progression?
It wasn't Limit. It was some Russian guild.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I was going to say, I secretly want to jump on that bandwagon just so I have a method to root for. I don't
You
know.
already jumped on the Colts bandwagon a long time
They
ago.
got slaughtered.
So, guys, if you did not watch the NA, go to the Twitch Warcraft, watch the VODs, just immerse yourself in that because it was good. Doesn't matter what people's opinions are. There was so much garbage on Twitter that it was just pissing me the fuck off. You guys can't change it. You can't change the fact that they did it in 7.2.5. You can't change the fact that the PvP players feel like it's unbalanced. You can't change any of that. The best you can do is suck it the fuck up and enjoy what you got because it's happening whether you want it to or not. Going
Well-
on Twitter and QQing about things that you can't change aren't making anybody any difference.
Well, they knew ahead of
Insulting.
time.
Yeah, these guys knew there's nothing that can be done about it. Why can't we just enjoy the games? Like some people were in the chat. I don't even look at the stupid chat anymore because it irritates me. But people were like, "WoW's dead. Why are you here? Why are you in this Twitch chat? Do you not have a girlfriend? Oh wait, you probably don't have a girlfriend, or she's not inflated because she's folded up underneath your bed. Like whatever. That's not for me to judge. Just buy an air compressor.
It's the internet.
Instant inflate. Like
You're not
there's
gonna
something
get
with
hose.
Limit that I need to know about, and I feel like I can't remember.
That there is no limit. Oh,
The sky is the limit because there is no limit.
right?
What are you mentioning about Limit?
She forgot.
I remember there being something scandalous publicly happening. I just don't remember what it is. Pretty sure it was a ban. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to want you to do.
Oh, right.
If you could do a search.
You were saying that.
Donovan Remedies. I don't know who Donovan is.
Remedies.
Fuck that guy. But I feel like I feel like if you do a search, there was some type of limit ban that happened because I remember talking about it on the show. So while you're doing that, because I'm sure you will find it, guys, I apologize for my really long segment, but it was really important that we talked about that. It kind of made me jump all over. Was I right? Was I right?
It was the buying and sharing thing.
Win trading.
Who was that, sorry?
They aren't going to be banned, though, so... No.
But they were banned for it.
Nope.
I just want to say that while you're over here on the limit bandwagon, that they were being dishonest.
Who's on the... What?
I don't know, you were like, their world...
I just knew their name.
Their world progression, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care.
There is no bandwagon with limit. Only know because they're top 10.
Who do you want to win world first? Who's your team of choice?
Well, it used to be vodka, but now it's method.
I love vodka
doesn't rate
also.
anymore.
No,
vodka was...
Jim is up there.
It was the 1 year that BlizzCon did the raid competition between Blood Legion and vodka. And vodka whooped their ass.
Oh, I remember. Blood Legion drama too. We don't need to get into all that, but I do remember Blood Legion drama.
But yeah, no, because in terms of the progression, it's method.
What's with all these people that play games on the internet? Can't they just stop the drama?
Not for nothing though. The progression race is pretty. It's pretty hype, dude. I'm just throwing that out there. It's pretty hype.
For real?
Yeah, it's pretty hype.
And also, if you're throwing your lot with the U.S. for progression, you're in the wrong region.
Yeah, no, U.S. is just not.
You're either going EU or Korean.
EU is just, they're on a whole different playing field. They really are. In everything that they do, though, even PvP, like...
I can't remember what guild it was, or what was about, but it was like these guys were showing a video of where they were training for their progression, and it was like, they get paid for this shit. They're all in a warehouse with tables set up just for the raid. It was like, holy fuck, calm down.
It should be.
That's too much. Like I'm not about that life, guys. Like, I haven't been in progression for the last couple weeks because I'm just like, I'm not really interested. No, in truth, it's because I've been really busy. But, so, yeah, that's my week in WoW, guys. Get hyped because I am going to be going to BlizzCon. I'm going to be watching this live. I am hoping to have a different POV during the finals, so we'll see how that works out. I'm gonna try to get as close to the stage as humanly possible.
Well, we got second row last year.
I'm hoping to have media passes so I don't have to deal with any of that. We'll see. I don't know if media passes takes me any closer, but be expecting me to be screaming and hopefully not peeing my pants this year like I did last time.
No, you won't be peeing your pants. Yeah.
So it's gonna be. I'm pretty excited for that life change. But so 4 teams for NA. We have all of our teams that are going. I think they have the Latin and all that worked out. So the next step is BlizzCon. That's it.
Woo woo.
Woo, woo.
Less than 2 months. Fucking
That's
it.
it.
It's really scary, to be perfectly honest. So let's talk about our week in WoW. Jimma, what did you do this week in the world of Warcraft?
I had one. A pretty good one. An exciting one for me anyway. Obviously, I was a little... Right? I don't know what he said. I just said right. Last week, we found out I can fly finally. A little late. I'm a late bloomer, obviously. But flying around on my alt was amazing.
Life-changing.
Oh, my gosh. It's so... And I haven't hit it. Like, I got my first... I just got my third 110. But early in the expansion, I got my 2 quick, and I didn't bother with any other alts. I barely played my hunter, to be honest. But when you hit 110 now, it's just like... a quest is everywhere. It was like ping, 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 ping. So that was cool. I got it to Argus, and I'm just excited to do resto healing. Still play the monk, obviously, but I was just playing on my hunter all the time, and I'm like, I got a queue for this, or I got to get a... No one cares about this stupid hunter. Everyone needs a healer, right? So I power leveled my druid. I finished it off. Farmed for some of the raiding with leashes Pets, I'm ready to just buy the rest of them. This is annoying. And then I really only tried one brawl. I'm sure that doesn't qualify me to give a lot of feedback, but I liked it. But again, I'm in the healer role, and I feel like if I was on my hunter or a range DPS, I probably wouldn't like it if I didn't go in with a group. So it was just I just had a good week in WoW. Got everyone to Argus, my 3 tunes, and chilling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wrong faction.
So, did you
Right.
say that you got annoyed by having to get your pets for raiding with leashes?
I'd rather just buy them.
Isn't that part of what pet battlers do?
Some, yeah, some people like that, but to me, it's not.
Doesn't that make you a lazy pet battler?
Oh, 100%. And I also encourage, like, even in my guides, I always got people to power level the easiest pets to get in the wild or to obtain to help you power level your pets. But farming old raids isn't really pet battles. It's just, I'm getting a chance.
Collecting.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not.
You know what I mean?
You're not
No, yeah.
battling to collect them. Got it.
You
Well,
know, there's
I'm not-
difference between collecting them and
Yeah, you got to
actually
go through this
battling.
whole raid. Like, I could care less about what am I going for? World's fastest
Yeah.
Bastion of Twilight.
No, you're right.
And then it also took me, like, again, it was this 2 raids times 2, but the 4th raid, the last boss finally dropped 1 pet. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time, and it is gold, but to me, I'm just like, no, I'm waiting for them to
Gold is nothing to me.
Well-
Banks.
It is in the sense, like, I'm not buying them yet. They're too expensive, and that's why I told people to sell them while they can. I'm waiting a couple weeks for them to drop, but I'll be collecting slowly.
I still got that pet.
Right, I bought. Oh yeah, and I thought it was way expensive. Right, I looked at
Oh, did you buy one that I had
Heck
already?
yeah, pre-show.
You son of a bitch. I was
I
trying to
tweeted-
bargain.
I know. Well, I thought it was like a 50K pet because when you got it, there was only one on Argent Dawn. There's a couple more, but the cheapest was 30K on Argent Dawn. I went on lonely old deserted Blackrock, 4K. Boom. I was gonna.
I should probably sell that pet.
I would. I'll get you one for 4K. Sell it to you for 6. Sell yours for 15. What,
I'll
make-
sell mine for. I'll wait till there's none in there and sell it for 50. I'm
I
about that
don't-
profit life.
I recommend popping it in the auction house, not for the dance party, take it easy, but putting your pet in there for now because they're just going to become more and more. So I would get what you can now is my recommendation.
You are that instant gratification type of guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I got to get to sleep.
That's how men are single, because of instant gratification. Okay,
Very much
women
so.
take more work than that, Gemma. Okay.
I've
All I'm
been
gonna say
reading about
is it faster to eat from a microwave or an oven?
it all but
The
depends
quality
on
of
your
food is better from an oven. I would
Depending on
think
what
that
you're
that
cooking,
matters.
maybe.
If we're correlating cooking with adult activities in the bedroom, then I think the quality is better than the quantity. So if we're making that awkward correlation, don't make this weird, then quantity is not the important thing here. The quality really is what matters, because you could have 50 really bad sexual encounters and one really great one, and the one really great one will erase the 50, guys. Not even lying. Am I right?
Ding, fries are done.
So in this case,
You're right.
Rem, the oven is better than the
Well,
microwave.
let's get me
but
an
I
easy
really,
bake.
I
I'm
like
looking for an analogy.
yeah,
I want an
because
easy bake oven at BlizzCon.
Gemma fries his fucking mozzarella sticks. That's don't you use
Is
a
there
frying
fries?
pan for your
Me?
mozzarella sticks?
No, he has an air fryer.
I got an air fryer.
Oh,
no grease.
dang, I
It may
gotta
look
get
like
one.
that. Oh, there's such a good investment. I recommend it.
We're gonna talk about that after the show, because I am
Air
interested in
fryer.
buying one. Something that's a
real.
little bit healthier, so I can still get my, Anyway, Rem, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft?
I did a whole lot more arugula and gorgonite farming and rares and invasions, and I killed the new world boss, and it dropped gold.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
happened
Well,
in
it-
PTR,
the loot-
remember? We went through
the
all that
loot-
work, and then it dropped gold, and I was like, thanks.
No, that one wasn't even the world boss, though. That was just one of the invasions. I did
Hmm.
the greater invasion.
Oh.
Yeah, and the loot table wasn't beneficial to me anyway. but all I got was gold. I created the group, led it. Anyways, I also did the raid with the Riders Rohan, as I mentioned earlier, and it was just enough night. We went through it. 2 pulls on Kill Jaden, heroic.
Interesting.
Historic.
Yeah, went good. So yeah, farming and raiding. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just happy we don't have to collect the stupid waste stones anymore as well.
Those are
Just
stupid.
you just complete 3 invasions and you can do the world boss.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Which
And it's not
the greater invasions replace the world boss, essentially, in case you weren't.
Well, not replace it, but it's the new system for it. And you don't have to wait for the fucking building
Can you
to
just
be
travel
up.
to the world boss on Argus and kill it? No, you have to go to a greater invasion. So guess what? It replaces it.
That's major.
No, it's
Yes,
a new
it does.
system.
It replaces it.
It doesn't replace it.
Can
What
you
the
go
fuck are you
anywhere
talking
at any
about?
time and kill a world boss when it's up that week? On Argus.
On Argus, yes.
No,
you go
you
to
cannot.
the Great
You ha-
Invasion and you go in.
But unless you've done the smaller invasions, you cannot. It replaces. Just Rem.
Just believe.
No, it was dependent on the building being up, and the building could not be up that whole week if people weren't putting into it. So I mean, what I'm saying is you can get it done.
The world
Easier.
boss had nothing. You had world bosses all over Broken Shore. You did not. Every week there was another world boss. Your logic is flawed, sir. We're gonna argue about this later, guys. Am I wrong?
I
Comment
don't
on the show
understand
and tell him
what
Bell's
the fuck
right.
you're saying.
So, okay, because I feel the need to be right, because this is just how I want to do things. So, outside of Argus, you have a world boss that you could go to. I know because during that week, you message and be like, hey, world bosses. Hey, okay, and we do the rotation. I cannot just simply go to Argus and find the world boss on the map with the little purple dragon and go and kill it. So the greater invasions replace the current world boss system that is outside of Argus, yes?
That's what I just fucking said. It's the new system.
That's minor.
That's why I was confused what you're saying,
Because
because you're
saying
on the same brain length as me, but
No,
you're explaining it
'cause
differently.
I'm saying a replacement so that people understand that it is replacing that, in fact.
It's just a new system.
I
But
swear to
it's the exact same thing, different wording.
Guys, for those of you who understand what I'm trying to communicate to you, thank you for being a friend. And if you didn't understand that we just had domestics right now, welcome to my life. Seriously, I didn't get to play with Rem this week, so I'm kind of sad. Also,
Is
to
that
the
why there's all this
person,
tension?
to the person who commented on the show about how they wouldn't let their wife have a male friend over sleeping in their house around their kids. Who the fuck are you, and why are you commenting
didn't
that
see
shit on
that
my show?
comment.
Let me explain
What?
something to you. I don't know what century you're from, where your wife's not allowed to have friends. I'm gonna need you to go the fuck on, because I literally commented and was like, I don't even know what this even means. Because
I
Rem,
did see that.
yeah, Rem just isn't my friend. Rem is also my husband's friend. So
I was about
that
to say, it'd be more like him and I in the bed.
like
maybe-
that comment was just completely out of line. So like I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna
might-
need you to pack your things and go. Okay,
Maybe it
thanks.
was just a compliment. Maybe
No,
because
that
of
wasn't a compliment. It was
maybe.
it wasn't
There's
a
a-
compliment.
Hear me
Low
out.
blow
Maybe
kind of comment.
It was kind of a low blow / low key insult, which is fine. You can feel how you want to feel, but like I don't know
Well,
what
Rem's such
century.
a-
I feel bad for your wife that you don't let her have friends. That hurts my feelings that your
Maybe
wife
that's the problem.
that your wife can't
Yes,
have friends.
no, why?
So, and really, my husband would never have to worry about me and Rem. I would have to worry about him and Rem because
That's what I just said. It would be him and I in bed, so
Um,
it's all good.
God, people are such fucking.
Well, Rem is such a good looking.
You know what it is though?
gentleman.
In truth, the reason being is because most people feel like men and women can't be friends. So they just make assumptions and that's their assumptions. I've had male friends my whole life because they don't really jive with females on a friendship level. It just is what it is. So, I don't know how to help other people and it's other people's perception. It's very Harry Met Sally that people say or make assumptions that you can't be friends and be separate genders and it be completely platonic, which is really ridiculous. But anyway, by the way, I just wanted to make sure that I spoke because that really, I'm sure that the person who commented, whoever you are, I'm sure you didn't mean any offense, but I really need you to let your wife have friends. So, with that being said, my weekend, wow, I did not get to play. I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to because my mom was in town and I had alternative things. I know. Damn it, Sue. God damn it, Bobby. And then I had alternative things that I had to get done for my side project stuff. So, the good news is I did finish the rest of the second week for Argus stuff, and was a first for me. Normally every week when new stuff is unlocked or a new month or whenever new information happens on a reset, me and Rem go right in, right, and we get all that stuff done. This week I didn't do that. So I didn't go right in and do all the things. So I got an hour or two every day on the sly when my mom went to sleep. And so just yesterday I barely finished the week second, the rest of the quest line for, I think it was for the Dark Awakened. I think it's what it's called. It felt really nice to not be in and having it done right away, that I actually kind of took my time throughout the week to slowly get that stuff done because I didn't have time. I really kind of appreciated a little bit more by not burning through everything, to be perfectly honest. So I think you can probably expect I'll be doing that same thing this week and just kind of doing a little bit and take my time. That's probably a lie because of the Crucible. I really want to unlock that, but I enjoyed kind of not doing that. Macquarie is beautiful for those of you who've been through Macquarie, so I enjoyed that that's where we spent kind of our time this week. I did do emissary stuff, also trying to see if I can get a legendary to drop, and I begun the process of taking my other tunes through Argus, because that's typically what I do when I'm waiting. And we're going to have some downtime because I think we're going to do 1 or 2 more full clears of Heroic, and the raid team's going to take a break in general. So that's probably when me and Rem will focus on bringing all of our alts through the Argus stuff, and then we'll probably level. I think I've been leveling the mage kind of low-key. I want to talk to you guys about that, in fact, for mages. So right now I'm arcane, and I feel like I'm shooting blanks when it comes to my power. So those of you that mage, since you know I Destruction Warlock, if you could recommend a spec for the mage that would be something that Belle would understand because she's Destruction. I know that there's...
Fire!
Well, a lot of people have said that, but I don't want a flavor of the week, so please don't say, oh, they're OP right now. I want you to tell me something that's consistent in its damage that I would easily understand a rotation. The arcane rotation I do understand, although the mana management's kind of shitty.
No, seriously, fire's fun.
So, yeah, if you guys could comment and give me your advice and opinions for leveling, because I'm level 101, and I'm struggling to level on my own. I'm going to have Rem help me because I'm dying. And it could very well be because I don't know how to mage, guys. I'm not going to say that that's not the case, but it's really bad. So, also, doing the Argonite stuff, let me tell you something funny. So, Rem bought a socket, a relic. It procced to 940. So, I was like... I'm going to spend my Argonites and do the same, and it did not proc. So yesterday I'm looking on Belle and I realized that one of my armor pieces is 905. I could have used my Argonites on that instead of wasting it on a relic that was already 915. So now I'm trying to beef back up my Argonites so that I can, replace that piece that's 905 with a 915 piece.
Make sure you guys are doing your weekly Argonites. The pristine.
Oh, where you get the 50? Yeah.
You get the 50 of that, and you get like 300 or 500.
You're better off doing rares. Good luck with the chests. I wouldn't even bother doing the chests. I would just do the rares to get that, because the chests you're just gonna walk home disappointed because it's really sad.
Actually, not so much anymore. I'm getting quite a bit of them.
What do you mean? You're getting chests. From how? There's gajillions of people.
Secrets.
Interesting. So this just in, I don't know if Jim was going to talk about it, but if Jim's not going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. Today, apparently, 11 minutes ago, Blizzard added an adorable little pet, and it is adorable. What? Is it a fox?
You stole my segment.
You didn't read it. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
I'm joking.
It's called Shadow, and this magical
looks like one of those little
magical battle pet is
desert
listed
foxes
as an in-game shop reward, so perhaps some of the Blizzard proceeds will go towards disaster relief. So that makes sense, since the Cinder Kitten and the
changes colors.
Guys, is it a fox?
It's one of those little desert foxes.
That is adorable. So
It looks like a PlayStation character. I can't put my finger on.
So it's not for sale, JK. You can't buy it, but
Not
it's
yet,
coming.
but,
So get
yeah.
ready, guys. Get ready. Do your thing. Let's buy shit. So I'm really happy we got that little last minute deal.
Right?
Interesting.
Good job, Rem.
So yeah, my weekend WoW was pretty unadventurous. I got work done in World of Warcraft, but I didn't get to have a whole lot of. And by the time I got in game, after dealing with my mom all week, it's a lot of conversation, right? When people come over, you actually have to talk to people. You can't just sit there. So
That's true.
it's very tiring going from just having my daily routine to entertaining people, which is why I don't mind when Ren comes down here, because Rem has his own room and he hibernates in his room like I do in my office. And we talk to each other to eat, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah.
That's why I wasn't sure if the oven and the microwave argument stemmed from like a dinner situation you guys had. I was confused for a moment there.
Well, also something really weird that Belle does, a little tidbit into her life, they put the pizza boxes in the oven. Like, I understand the concept, but I've always liked packaged it and then put it in
We
the
don't
fridge.
stick the pizza in the freezer
Yeah.
or the
Oh,
refrigerator.
you mean overnight?
Overnight, we leave it in the oven.
You're crazy.
No, it's totally fine.
It is fine.
I've done that for 10 years. It goes right in the oven. It's not usually past the overnight, right? Usually the lunch. So here's the thing. I spent many drunken nights in college with the pizza left out on the table and the counter because we were shit-faced, passed out, sometimes naked on the floor. And I learned very quickly that you could completely eat pizza the next day that had not been put in the refrigerator, and it was completely fine and healthy if you put it in the microwave. So, yes, we do store our pizza boxes in the oven. This Rem was looking for the pizza, and he's like, where are your pizza boxes? I'm like, the oven. It just because the pizza, nobody wants to repackage and put all that in your fridge, and
It is extra work.
it's just too much work, so we just throw it right in the oven. And it's really convenient because you just take it out and you put it in the microwave.
I
The
just
mic-
eat it plain. I like cold pizza.
I do too.
The microwave is great for reheating, but I'm usually too lazy to do this, but you fry it in a frying pan or preheat your oven a little bit, get some crisp going.
We have what are they called?
We have
We have a little toaster oven, a conventional
Toaster oven,
Convection.
yeah.
I don't fucking know. It's just a little.
You had it right,
Conventional.
conventional oven.
We use it for corn dogs and hot pockets.
Toaster strudels. Oh.
We call those pogos. Toasters.
Also, I don't know if you mentioned it, but because you get the +5 for each relic of the tier 1,
Yeah, 15
just make sure that
levels
your
overall.
artifact's at level 60. Yeah. Because that will allow you to unlock every relic tier.
No, 75.
That's what I'm saying. Make sure your artifact is at 60 because it goes +5, +5, +5, 75.
No. It's artifact level, not item level.
God damn it.
Yeah.
They lied to me.
If you watched my Crucible guide on Method's YouTube channel, you wouldn't have a problem.
I need you to
Haven't
check
watched
that
it.
video out, Rem, please.
So it does not
I've
go
been
by
busy
your weapon's
dying.
item level. It goes by your weapon's level. So when you
Oh.
hover over the top left and you see the number, that's the
Son of
number
a
that matters. So
bitch.
by the time you hit 75, you'll have each relic slot. I'm not even going to explain to this. Go watch my damn video. I'm not even getting into this because I was very thorough in my video, Rem. But yeah, so that's it.
You wrecked the show.
That's all,
Rem.
folks.
I knew something that Rem didn't. God, that makes me feel so good. And I hate that he didn't support me enough to watch my video, guys. He hurts my feelings. I support him every day. I support his life choices. I support his choice in mates. And he just doesn't.
I had a
always.
busy week. Shitty week,
We
okay?
did have a
So,
shitty week. I
calm
didn't
down.
even 2 days we didn't even speak. I was like, "Are you dead?" Because we haven't even spoken. Guys, we had a really great episode. I'm shocked because I'm really tired. In case that's like going to be the theme every week. I'm just going to be exhausted because I'm old. I think we had a really great show. I'm feeling really good about things, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Things
For next episode. Can't
all
wait.
the backer stuff is completely packaged and done. Everything is packaged. I just have to drive it down to mail it out. The only reason I haven't mailed it out is I was waiting for the storm to pass because 4 of my backers are in Florida and a couple are in Texas. So I was kind of waiting for the storm so that I didn't.
Tragedy.
Yeah, I didn't want to ship stuff out and it get lost because of all the weather problems. So
It's understandable.
it's ready
obviously.
and they're done. I'm so excited to be done with it. So. Yas. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Listen, I want to thank the viewers that watch every week. If you're new to PWNCAST, make sure you subscribe. Tell us how you like the show. Please don't be mean to Belle in your fucking comments, guys. You want to know why? Because I deserve better. I'm a nice girl. Also, congratulations. I'm not really nice. Congratulations to the 2 winners. I have heard they've already claimed their winnings from no. Gemma?
I've accepted them both on Real ID. I just haven't met them. I've been looking through my Real ID, and I apologize to the guildie. I don't. Just please, if you're hearing this,
message Gemma and tell him to give you your shit.
Please. That's not rude at all.
He's the worst. Just be like, yo, better
Give me
have
my
my
pet.
money. Better have my
Right?
money. That song's
Where's
gonna,
my money, man?
That song's gonna trigger my
Right.
emotions. So, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, make sure you check out the Netherlight Crucible guide if you have any questions. And if you have any questions, feel free. I can respond on the YouTube channel, but please don't ask me a question that I already talked about in the guide because then it's gonna be
Rem, you're a podcaster.
that really hurts my feelings.
He
Guys,
was
he's
busy.
terrible.
That's actually something I was gonna be watching before I got out of work tomorrow. Because
See,
I
that
needed
makes
to see
guys.
it.
He just made me happy all over again,
you go.
guys. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah.
But I did hear Panzer made a guide too, so I might watch that.
Wow.
Oh.
If we had Fave 5s, you would not be in my Fave 5.
You just got bumped down to 6.
You'd be
until next
number
week.
9 on my top 8.
You. That hurt my feelings, guys. She's
I think I'm-
amazing.
Right?
I want to be like her when I grow up. No?
No.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody bought that whatsoever, especially the people that really know me. Guys, we're for real going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye. Let's hear your gender neutral voice now, Belle.
No, I think it's...
I'm gonna show you the light, guys.
She was about to be serious for a moment.
No, I just don't that gender thing that you told me just really weirds me out because it had a girl's voice. So I feel like if they're trying to push that it's gender neutral, that it should be a gender neutral voice. No?
There is no how can it be gender neutral? It has to be some tone, some octave.
You're not even my real dad.
Right?
How dare you say such things to me, by the way?